intro?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll do this. Are we on? Oh. Well, God is my constant companion. Well, God is my constant companion. Oh, today is a brand new day to look at life in a different way.
I'm Rev Glen.
Oh, today is a brand new day to look at life
This
in
is
a
Rev
different
Yolanda.
way. Hi, I'm Rev.Yolanda, and God is my constant companion. Well, God is my constant companion.
And we are the Mighty Companions, and we are so glad that you are here.
Hey, everybody! We're happy to be here today.
Welcome. This is our second time together this year.
I know, 2015.
And we are going to be looking at A Course in Miracles because we call ourselves the Mighty Companions.
Yes, we do. Which is a phrase from A Course in Miracles. It refers to all of us being on this journey together and being companions on the journey and learning from each other and teaching each other what we know.
So we are going to look. We're actually section chapter 2 and chapter 3 really goes into the mighty part of the Mighty Companions.
Oh, very good.
Right, because we're in the first half of the course about 10-15 chapters. It really tries to undo our thinking about who we are and tries to unhook us from all these different ways in which we think that the way we believe the world is that isn't correct.
Yeah.
It's not correct, and it causes us suffering.
Right.
So, and we look at
the world of our opinions and perceptions.
Yes. So we're going to be talking a lot about perceptions today.
Yeah.
For the first two chapters. So, but before that, yesterday's lesson from Course in Miracles was really, beautiful. Really super.
And today's too, we're going to share a little bit of both, but we want to read yesterday's lesson. It's lesson number 30. And lesson number 30 from A Course in Miracles workbook is, God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Oh, yeah. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. This idea for today is the springboard for vision. From this idea will the world open up before you, and you will look upon it and see in it what you have never seen before, nor will what you saw before be even faintly visible to you.
Big promises. That's why we wanted to read this lesson. So this is what the course is promising to us. Continue reading.
Oh, it's so good. Today we are trying to use a new kind of projection. We are not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. Mm-hmm. Instead, we are trying to see in the world what is in our minds and what we want to recognize is there. Thus, we are trying to join with what we see rather than keeping it apart from us. That is the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see. Yeah, referring to our ego vision, right. And our body's vision and everything like that. So what it's talking about is our spiritual vision, our higher mind, our Christ self.
Uh-huh. So we're going to talk about the difference. That's why I wanted to read this. Get these ideas of perception and vision down. It says, today's idea could be applied as often as possible throughout the day. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat to yourself slowly, looking about you, and trying to realize that the idea applies to everything you do see
now. Mm-hmm. Or could see if it were within the range. Within the range of your seeing.
She says, real vision is not limited to concepts such as near or far. Mm-hmm. To help you begin to get used to this idea, try to think of things beyond your present range as well as those you can actually see and apply this day's idea. Yeah. Real vision, she says, is not only unlimited by space and distance, but it does not depend on the body's eyes at all. Yay. So there's your major contrast between perception and vision that we need to establish in order for today's lesson to go over a little bit better. The mind is its only source. The mind is its only source. The aid in helping you to become more accustomed to this idea as well. Devote several practice periods to applying this idea with your eyes closed, using whatever subjects come to mind, and looking within rather than without. today's ideas apply equally to both, inside and outside. So maybe a couple of times today or this week, you'll be like standing in a line. You'll be in
at the grocery store.
You'll be in a queue, as they say.
Yeah. Or waiting for the train to come, or something like that.
And you'll just be able to look around you. If you can't close your eyes, like you're driving, maybe you can say, "God is in that.
Everything I
is in that telephone pole. God is in this cash register. God is in this paperclip. God is in this hanger. God is in So God is in everything I see."
I really love this practice because it helps me relate to everything that I see as being one with me.
Right.
Even what I call inanimate objects, because it came from the earth, it came from life, it came from substance, it came from life source energy itself. Everything that we see is a part of us, is a part of who we are. That's how I like to use the lesson. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind.
Well, that's getting ahead.
I know.
So stick around and we'll get to that lesson too. So we are actually going to be looking at highlights from the text of chapter 2 and the text of chapter 3. Chapter 2 is called The Separation and Atonement. Sounds like one of those scary movies. The Separation and the Atonement.
Oh, yes. Drama.
Lots of drama and separation and atonement.
I know. So if if you want to sort of flow through the drama, these helpful hints will be good for you.
And chapter 3 is called The Innocent Perception. So what movie would The Innocent Perception be?
Oh, it's a Disney movie.
I think it's a Disney movie. See, we're gonna turn the cart right into innocence and the innocence of perception. So that's why I wanted to get this lesson, get Yolanda to read the lesson for today, as to get us really with the ideas of perception and vision. What those two things are. What the differences are. Okay, so the Section 1 of course begins in probably probably the most quoted, one of the most quoted prayers from A Course in Miracles. So it says in the first section is called the origins of separations, where we would naturally begin to extend. To extend, right? It means to make farther. To extend is a fundamental aspect of God, which He gave His Son. In the creation, God extended Himself to His creation and imbued them with the same loving will to create. So this establishes you as a creator. You have not only been fully created, but you have also been created perfect.
Yeah.
There's no emptiness in you. Because of your likeness to your creator, you are creative. It's fundamentally the way we teach the Course in Miracles around here is you are creative. Everything is built on that. Again, she says it directly outright in section 1 of chapter 2. No child of God can lose this ability because it is inherent in what
he is.
Right. Because he can use it, but he can use it inappropriately by projecting.
Right. Your opinions, my opinions.
The inappropriate use of extension, right? Well, that's the idea of extension. The inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you.
Yeah.
And that you can fill it with your own ideas instead of, this is the part I like, truth. The truth. If you believe in lack, then you're trying to fill that lack with something other than the truth.
Yeah.
So truth will set you free, as they say. Yeah. So this is the prayer. This involves the I'm sorry. This is how the steps work. The prayer, I think, actually is a little bit farther down. But I made a mistake. So this is how projection works.
Okay.
First, you believe that God created can be changed in your own mind. Okay?
First, you believe that what God created can be changed by your own mind.
Right.
Okay. So wait a second. Let's back up a little bit. What you're showing us now, what the Course is talking about now, is how we project.
Right.
Okay.
Second, you believe that what is perfect can be rendered imperfect or lacking. Right? It means you can break it.
Okay.
You can break yourself, right?
Okay.
You believe that you can change what God made. Mm-hmm. The second is you think you can break what God made.
Okay.
The third is you believe that you can distort the creations of God, including yourself. You
right.
can bend it or mold it or change it into something else entirely. Mm-hmm. Fourth is you believe that you created yourself, and that direction of your own creation is up to you.
And that the direction of your own creation.
Right.
So this is telling us that we are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as we are, and we can't change that.
Right.
But we want to. Our ego.
We think that's not right. We believe in lack.
Yeah, we believe in lack. Okay, got it. Very good.
I know. So don't do that. Easy.
And then the course shows us. Well, but the course then shows us how we don't have to do that if we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Very true.
With the lessons and everything.
Right. So we begin to work on the solution.
Right.
And the solution, atonement is defense.
Very good. Yes.
What are you defending against? You're the way that you act out in lack.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not truth. You can do anything I ask, the Course says. I have asked you to perform miracles, and I have made it clear that miracles are natural, corrective, healing, and universal.
Right.
Remember that from last week?
For the very first chapter,
right,
which is explaining what miracles are. They're natural.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can go back to the first video and see that.
Yeah.
There is nothing they cannot do, but cannot be performed by the spirit of doubt or fear. Miracles aren't performed by doubt and fear.
Right.
When you're afraid of anything,
you are acknowledging its power to hurt you. When you are afraid of something, you're acknowledging its power to hurt you.
Fear means you're handing whatever it is the means to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's what fear is. Mm-hmm. When you're afraid of anything, you're acknowledging its power to hurt you. Mm-hmm. Remember that where your heart is, your treasure is also. Mm-hmm. And you believe what you value.
Yeah.
Okay, these are very universal ideas, and she's packing them in here. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is why I wanted to get to the lessons really quickly, because remember that where your heart is, your treasure is also. Where your heart is, your treasure is also. So what's on your heart to do? Mm-hmm. That's God's will for your life. Mm-hmm. You know, what is on your heart to do? Because that's where you really find value.
Yes.
Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's a art project. Maybe it's a community organizing. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe it's creating a knitting pattern. I don't know. You have to.
Maybe it's the job that you do and you love to do.
It's your passion.
Or maybe it's a job that you're meant to do that you're not doing.
Yeah. So look, you can defend truth as well as error, right? The means are easier to understand after the value of the goal is firmly established.
Right.
It's a question of what is it for. Mm-hmm. Okay, whenever you're confused, say, what is this for? What am I doing this for? Mm-hmm. Everyone defends his treasure, right? Mm-hmm. And will do so automatically. So if you're defending something, it means that you value it. Mm-hmm. Even if you're valuing something that's wrong or destructive.
Exactly.
You're defending something that's destructive. It's like, oh, well, you know. So first thing we do is realize what we're defending. Everyone defends his treasure and will do so automatically. The real questions are, what do you treasure and how much do you treasure it? Once you have learned to consider these questions and to bring them into all of your actions, you will have little difficulty in clarifying the means. The means being like how you got there, or what you want to accomplish, or what you need to do, what your hands need to do, what your feet need to do, where you need to go, or think. The means are available whenever you ask. The means are available whenever you ask. Yeah. There's your prayer life. Mm-hmm. You can, however, save time if you do not protract this step unduly, making you don't skip over it.
Oh, okay.
The correct focus will shorten it immeasurably. So take out into your conscious life. Mm-hmm. It says here in section 2, the atonement and defense. Take out into your conscious life what is on your heart
to do,
and say, what is it? What am I doing in the world? And what is it for? Is how I act supportive with what I do? Mm-hmm. And what the goals I want are what I'm doing, believing, saying, acting like, defending, are they in line with where I want to go and what my goals are? Happy, joyous, and free would be the goal.
I just think she says it so clearly. The real questions are, what do you treasure and how much do you treasure it?
Right.
Because that's where your value is. That's what your heart will go automatically to, and that's what you will defend.
And it's easy. You don't have to. No one has to convince you of doing what's on your heart.
Right.
You have immense energy for it.
I certainly do.
I know. Like I have immense energy for this course.
I know.
This is mine to do.
It is.
So section 3 is called the altar of God. And this is why I call your heart the altar of God. And she says, perceiving the body as a temple is only the first step in correcting this distortion. Because it alters only part of it. It does recognize that atonement in physical terms is impossible. The next step, however, is to realize that a temple is not a structure at all. It's the true holiness that lies in the inner altar around which the structure is built. The emphasis on the beautiful structures is a sign of the fear of atonement and an unwilling to reach the altar itself. Right? You just make everything around it pretty. The real beauty of the temple cannot be seen with the physical eye.
Right.
Spiritual sight, on the other hand, cannot see the structure at all because it's perfect vision. It can, however, see the altar with perfect clarity. Have you ever seen into somebody's heart? You know?
Yes. I see into your heart.
I know, and I see into your heart.
Because you're so wonderful.
And we can see heart. We can see, we call that seeing into each other, or seeing with your heart. And we know that this is possible.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and he goes, because everything is in God, because everything I see is in God, it doesn't rely on whether my eyes are closed or my eyes are open.
God is in everything I see, even if my eyes are closed.
Right. Section 4, so I want to reemphasize that we're talking about your treasure, and your treasure lies in your heart, and what you value have in your heart to do. And that's what we're going to bring out into the world. And so she brings up the idea of the body. So the next section is section 4 is called the healing as release from fear.
Wow.
Our emphasis is now on healing. She says the miracle is the means, the atonement is the principle, and healing is the result. Healing is the result. It's a result. Okay? To speak of a miracle of healing is to combine two orders of reality inappropriately.
Right.
Healing is not a miracle.
Okay.
Healing's not a miracle. The atonement, now listen to this, she's going to, I'll wrap your mind around, correct something in your mind now. The atonement, or the final miracle, is the remedy, and any type of healing is the result. She's restating that. The kind of error to which atonement is applied is irrelevant. All illusions are minimal, or the same, and all aspects of love are maximal. All healing is essentially the release from fear. See, that's why it's not healing. It's a release from fear. To understand this, you cannot be fearful yourself. You do not understand healing because of your own fear.
Yeah.
Right? So healing is fear, or being sick is fear.
Right.
Healing is not a miracle. Healing is the result of accepting the atonement.
Beautiful.
The truth. Seeking the truth.
Yeah. The oneness, the truth, the understanding that we are all one, that all life is one.
Yeah, a major step in the atonement plan is to undo error at all levels. Sickness, or not right-mindedness, right? See, not right-mindedness. Sickness is not right-mindedness. Is the result of level confusion, because it always entails the belief that what is amiss on one level can adversely affect another. Like what goes on with your body can affect your heart, or what we're calling your heart.
Your inner
your spirit.
Your spirit, right. Okay. Yeah.
All material means that you accept as remedies for bodily ills are restatements of magic principles. Now, don't get too out of whack here. This is the first step in believing that the body makes its own illnesses.
Okay.
It doesn't. Our thoughts do. It is a second misstep to try to heal it through non-creative agents. Non-creative agents, something other than a spiritual. We're creative, right? Remember that first section? God created you as a creative being. You have all the creative aspects of God. Okay, not to use your creative aspects of God to heal or correct your right mind. Is what we're going at here.
Okay, I'm not following you. State it a little more clearly.
The first step in healing the body is the belief that it makes its own illusions. It's the second misstep to try to heal it through non-creative agents.
Okay. Which means what?
Pills and things like that.
Okay.
It does not follow, however, that the body's use of such agents for corrective purposes is evil.
Right. It's not evil to take your medicine or whatever like that. You
Sometimes the illness has sufficiently strong hold over the mind to render the person temporarily inaccessible to the atonement. See, the healing is the atonement.
Right.
And you place the belief in the atonement in an aspirin.
Right. Got it. Right.
And it still works. The atonement is what works.
It's what works. Not the aspirin. Yeah, exactly. I understand that. Okay, take a deep breath, everybody. Now, in full disclosure, I'm HIV positive, so I take daily, medication for that. And we're not telling you not to take your medication if you're on medication. What we are saying is that it's actually the atonement that creates the healing. Mm-hmm. I know people that are HIV positive and take medication and have all kinds of sickness continually. But the difference, I think, is because I really understand that my healing is in the oneness. My healing is because I am aware of my oneness with life and you and God, that which we call God, and that really keeps me healthy.
So the offering here is the correction that we're seeking. This to choose the truth, to choose to find out the truth about what's going on, and that and of course we're going to get into this a little bit later in the next chapter, but it's no secret. The answer would be forgiveness.
Yeah,
the answer would be what is going on, what is this illness reflecting in my mind, because your body isn't, as we just learned, your body is an effect. It's not a cause.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Your body doesn't tell you what to do. Our thinking tells our bodies what to do.
I have a song for you a little later on.
You get some inspiration.
Now I got some inspiration. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So here we are at section 5, the functions of a miracle worker. The sole responsibility of the miracle worker is to accept the atonement for himself. You're one with all. That's the correction. This means that you recognize that the mind is the only creative level, and that its errors are healed by the atonement, or the truth. The truth that you're one with all beings, and God is in everything you see. Once you accept this, your mind can only heal by denying your mind any destructive potential and reinstating its purely constructive powers. Or creative powers. There's your creative agent, right? We're creative agents.
Yeah.
Agent creative. You place yourself in a position to undo the confusion of others when you do this, right? The message you then give to them, your friends in the world, is the truth that their minds are similarly constructive and their miscreations cannot hurt them. What a wonderful thing.
Good.
When you make a mistake, you can just not defend it and say, oh yeah, that was a mistake, and you can actually let the effects, you can not suffer the effects. By affirming this, you release the mind from evaluating its own learning. By affirming this, you release the mind from over-evaluating its own learning device, which is your body.
Right.
And restore the mind to its true position as a learner. Right?
Wow.
Your mind is creative. Your thoughts, all thoughts create. Says that. This isn't the only system that says that.
Yeah.
All thoughts create.
Right.
So we're and we are very, very powerful people, and so she calls us miracle workers.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the 6 principles of miracle workers are in section 6. The first is the miracle abolishes the need for lower order concerns. Like I'll just lower order concerns being what if you're a part of the miracle, which is part of the atonement, which is part of the being in the present moment, you don't have to worry about planning. Lower order concerns. Okay. A clear
go with the flow, y'all.
Time and space move when you're in the present moment, being yourself, doing what God has for you to do.
Yeah,
it changes what happens. Actually causes what we call miracles to happen.
I agree.
I know it's true. Moment.
It certainly happened to us.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, all the time. A clear distinction between what is created and what is made is essential. All forms of healing rest on this fundamental correction in level perception. We can make a table, but we create. We use love to create. So things that are made have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
Things that are created are part of truth.
Right.
Extending truth and love into form.
Right. Okay.
That's
great.
That's the aspect of the principle of miracle workers. The third principle is never confuse right and wrong mindedness. Responding to any form of error with anything except a desire to heal is an expression of this confusion. So we call that in the course either a love or a call for love.
Right. Okay.
So you don't join into you don't join in somebody's fear or upset. You're the voice of peace and all of that. You know, it doesn't involve shaking and yelling back at them.
Quit wagging your finger now.
I know. Don't join in the crazy. Yeah, you don't join the crazy. The miracle is always a denial of this error and an affirmation of the truth. The miracle is a denial of error and an affirmation of truth. Only right-mindedness correct in a way that has any real effect. Okay? Number 5, the level adjustment power of the miracle induces the right perception for healing. That's just taking away this idea that some miracles are harder than others.
Right.
You know that getting a parking space or falling in love or something like that is kind of without. So forgiveness is an empty gesture unless it entails correction. Without this, it is essentially judgmental rather than healing.
Oh,
right.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense, you know, because a lot of times we think of forgiveness as, well, I'll forgive you out of my, my greater capacity to be a good person, and that is incredibly judgmental. And you'll pay forever. That is terribly judgmental.
Yeah. So forgiveness is about letting go of the judgment.
That. Yeah.
It's completely about letting go of the judgment. The judgments we have about our bodies, the judgment we have about the way the world is, the judgment we have about how people act or how you act. You know, the letting go of that judgment is where we get to the healing power of forgiveness. Okay, so it says miracle-minded forgiveness is only correction. It just brings about the truth. Affirm the truth and deny what is not true, like they say in Unity. Fillmore says that.
Yeah.
It has no element of judgment at all. The statement, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, in no way evaluates what they do. Okay?
Wow.
It's an appeal to God to heal their minds, right?
Oh, wow.
There is no reference to the outcome of the error.
That does not matter.
Right. Heal their minds because they don't know what they do. Because if they did know what they do, they wouldn't do it.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. In no way evaluates what they do.
So your forgiveness doesn't have anything to do
with what they do.
What happened? No, it has everything to do with your judgment.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Okay. And number 7. The injunction, be of one mind, is the statement for revelation readiness. Revelation meaning God talking directly to you. My request, do this in remembrance of me, is the appeal for cooperation from miracle workers. So do you cooperate with your community, or are you a lone wolf out here doing miracles? The two statements are not in the same word of reality. Only the latter involves the awareness of time, since to remember is to recall the past in the present. Time is under my direction or under your right mind's direction. That's why miracles are possible. But timelessness belongs to God. In time, we exist for and with each other. And that's not a problem. Time, we exist for and with each other. I exist for you, darling.
Oh, I exist for you and all of you. We all exist for each other.
And in timelessness, we exist with God. You can do much. You can do much on my behalf.
On behalf of your own
healing and that of others. Okay. And this is the prayer I was getting at.
Oh, very good. So you can do much on behalf of your own healing and that of others if in a situation calling for help, you think of it this way.
Calling for help. Remember what I said? It's either love or a call for love. Yeah. So any time that you find yourself in a position where somebody, or maybe you, are calling for love.
Yeah. Here's a good thing to say.
This is the most famous prayer from A Course in Miracles.
It's beautiful. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him reach me. Teach me to teach. Teach me to heal. I'm sorry, I couldn't read that very well. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes with me. He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. There we go.
Right.
Beautiful.
I'm here only to be helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I'm content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I'll be healed as I let him teach me to heal.
Beautiful.
I'll be healed as I
let him teach me to heal.
So if I want to be healed, what do I need to do?
Teach Let him teach me to heal.
Yeah, be open to instruction.
Yeah, accept success.
I accept success. And section 7, and we got section 7, 8, and 9, and then we'll begin on the next, and we'll have a song.
Well, yeah. But let's do a song now, because I got 2 songs.
You got 2 songs now?
Well, let me do one song now, and then I'll do
all right.
Okay, because this is
twisting my arm here. Twisting my arm.
Okay, scoot over a minute. Here, scoot over just a second. All right. So, that reminded me of something. That old song, that old country gospel song that I used to know, and it was called "Power in the Blood." Well, as I go through A Course in Miracles, I think about the love instead of the blood. I think about that there's not a sacrifice, but that there's only love. So I changed the words.
What are the odds, I ask you? What are the odds?
Would you be free? Wait, hold on. That's the old one. This is the new one. Would you be willing to know that there is no such thing as sin? Let me do that again. Would you be willing to know that there's no such thing as sin? There's power in the love, power in the love. Would you be willing to know that you are innocent within? There's wonderful power in the love. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the love of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious love of the Lamb.
Innocence.
Would you believe there is no such thing as sin? There's power in the love, power in the love. Would you believe you are innocent within? There's wonderful power in the love. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the love of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious love of the Lamb. One more time. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the love of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious love of the Lamb. Amen.
I love that. So cool.
I'm glad we got you. I know. It's I'm taking some of the old-timey songs and I'm reworking them according to how according to the things that we've learned in our lives through studying A Course in Miracles. And one of the major things that A Course in Miracles lets us know is that we are not sinful, and that we didn't make any mistakes, that we were not born into sin, but yet we were born into divine radiance.
Creativity.
And creativity.
You're a creator!
So those harsh teachings that we've come to know in our lives are overturned when we begin to know who we are in divine expression, in human form. So
when you start listening to your heart,
when
you start listening to and start becoming aware of what you defend, and becoming aware of what's the treasures in your heart, becoming aware of what your real values are, and about the goals that you really have for your life.
That's great.
Amen.
And knowing that God's will is your will. What you value, what you want to do in this world is God's will.
And we're all trying to create more peace.
Yes,
Some of us are going about it where the means don't match the ends. And that's what she's talking about here.
Right.
The means and ends have to match.
Very good.
What are you doing today? Is what you're doing today aligning with these goals of peace, joy, beauty, and love that you have as a goal? I want more love in my life. I want to have less anxiety in my life. I want to be able to help people or serve, because whatever you're going to do is going to be something about service, right? No matter what it is. So am I honest in my heart about what it is for me to do, and do what the actions I'm taking in my life today match the goals I'm trying to create. That creates the miracle that takes everything out of time and suddenly matches. These miracle. If you are a miracle worker, we are all miracle workers.
Let's just take that in for a moment. Just what is mine to do? What is yours to do in this world? What do you value? What do you treasure? Mm-hmm. That's God's will for you.
Mm-hmm. It's your treasure. You're God's treasure. Mm-hmm. You're God's treasure. So God's placed something in your heart to do. Mm-hmm. Something in your heart that you really, really want to do. God would really like to help you do it. Mm-hmm. If you'll just be open to some instruction.
Which we've learned. We've gotten through our little
open
hard
to
heads.
Instruction. I am willing to be taught. Okay, teach me to heal. Teach me to heal, God, and I'll be great.
I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal.
Right. Yeah. So section 7 is about in the chapter 2 is about fear and conflict. It is pointless to believe that controlling the outcome of misthought, mm-hmm. Trying to make this awful thing not happen,
right? Okay.
Can result in healing.
Right.
When you're fearful, you've chosen wrongly. Period. When you're fearful, you've chosen wrongly. Mm-hmm. That's why you feel responsible for it. You must change your mind, not your behavior. And this is a matter of willingness.
Wow, that's a great statement, you guys. You must change your mind, not your behavior.
Right.
And this is a matter of willingness.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You change your mind and your behavior will change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the key to that is willingness.
Right.
Just a little bit of willingness
to
accept forgiveness, and we are free.
You do not need guidance except at the mind level. Open to instruction. Mm-hmm. Correction belongs only to the level where change is possible. And where is change possible? In your mind. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stop trying to change your behavior. Start changing your mind. If you want something to change in the world,
change your mind about it.
Don't go out here trying to rearrange the deck chairs. Change your mind about the way you think about it. Change does not mean anything at the symptom level where it cannot work. The symptom level is like this.
This world, the world of form.
Mm-hmm. This is at the symptom level.
It's cute. I like your better.
Thank you. Section 8, cause and effect. This is what we're talking about a little bit earlier. It's talking a lot about miscreation and misperception here, okay? Section 8, cause and effect. Both miracle and fear come from thoughts. Both miracles and fears come from thoughts. That's how powerful you are. If you are not free to choose one, you would not be able to free to choose the other. By choosing the miracle, you have rejected fear, if only temporarily. You have been fearful of everyone and everything. We need to admit that. At some point in our life, we were afraid of everything. You have been fearful of everyone and everything. You were afraid of God, of me, being your right mind, of your right mind, and of yourself. You have misperceived or miscreated the oneness,
all of us,
and believe and believe in what you've made. You believe the error. You got it wrong, and now you're trying to make that stick to that. The fearful must miscreate because they misperceive creation. So that might help you forgive somebody who's actually caused you harm or hurt your feelings. They have to miscreate because they're living in fear. Yeah. When you miscreate, you are in pain. We know this. St. Oprah says, hurt people hurt people. Okay? The cause and effect principle now becomes a real expediter. Cause and effect principle. What's the cause and effect? You can pull the plug on a lot of suffering in your life if you realize what the cause and effects are. I don't like the way I feel. I'm going to change my mind. I don't like what's happening. I'm going to change my mind. Actually, cause is the term properly belonging to God, and His effect is His Son. Right? You're the creation. You're the powerful Creator creation. This entails a set of cause and effect relationships totally different from those you introduce to miscreation. The fundamental conflict in this world then is between creation and miscreation. Right? The use of your mind. What we're using our powerful minds to create. All fear is implicit in the second, miscreation. All fear is miscreation. And love in the first. All love is creative. Love is creative. Fear is miscreative.
And it sums it all up with this final sentence: the conflict is therefore between love and fear.
Right.
Easy to remember, actually.
Snap. So your conflicts are about love and fear.
Yeah.
Period. End of discussion. Okay, we can back up and go now.
Yeah. See you later. No, I got another song to sing.
So that's really simple. That's actually sums up the Course in Miracles.
It does. It really does. The conflict in your mind. The conflict is therefore one between love and fear. All conflict.
And if you can change your mind and start creating with love in your heart, creating the love that you want to create in the world from your heart, what your treasure is here to do, begin to create that, and you won't have fear.
Really beautiful,
isn't it? It's incredible. This is how I live my life. These are really good business instructions too. This is how to set up a business. This is how to run your political life. This is how to do community organizing.
Amen.
This is how to make a meal. This is how to cook. It's true.
I'm a fearless cook, y'all. I'll throw almost anything together and see what it tastes like.
And he has. The judgment is generally thought of as a procedure undertaken by God.
Are you talking about the last judgment now?
I'm sorry. Section 9.
We're in section 9, the meaning of the last judgment. Okay, now.
The last judgment is generally thought of as a procedure undertaken by God. Actually, it was undertaken by my brothers with my help, right? My brothers meaning us. It is the final healing rather than the meting out of punishment.
Right. Forget about the punishment, y'all. It's not real.
It's fear. However much you think that punishment is deserved, punishment is a concept totally opposed to right-mindedness. And the aim of the last judgment is to restore you to right-mindedness. The last judgment might be called a process of right evaluation. Right? Be forgiveness. You look in your mind and you go, oh, I made a mistake. And the last judgment is you're going to choose love. It simply means that everyone will finally come to understand what is worthy and what is not.
Yeah.
What is love and what is fear. After this, the ability to choose can be directed rationally. Until this distinction is made, your rational choice for love, it's a rational choice. After this, the ability to choose can be directed rationally. Until this decision is made, however, the vacillations between free and imprisoned will cannot but continue.
Woo.
We're going to imprison people.
Can
you believe it?
I don't want to.
Oh, I know. Let them go, y'all. Just let them out.
It's hard for us sometimes, though. We think that people need to pay and they should be
punished.
punished.
Punishment. Your belief in punishment.
Or belief in punishment.
Fear is the belief in punishment.
Exactly.
Because you think you're going to get hurt. Because you think you're a body.
Yep.
So you need to punish people. Actually, you don't. We don't. Let it off the hook. Forgive.
Hello.
Choose love. So section 3 is called, or chapter 3 is called the innocent perception. Yay! We're here, and it's called this is what we were just talking about. It leads us right into the idea in section 1 of the atonement without sacrifice. Atonement, oneness, is the truth, so it doesn't require sacrifice. A further point must be perfectly clear before any residual fear still associated with miracles can disappear. The crucifixion did not establish the atonement; the resurrection did.
Thank goodness.
What my mother used to say, hey, y'all.
He got up.
He got up.
It's about getting up.
Yeah, it's about choosing love.
It's about choosing love.
Section 2, miracles are a true perception. The way to correct distortions is to withdraw your faith in them and invest it only in what is true. See, again, the truth will set you free. Do you really like the truth? Do you really enjoy the truth? You cannot make untruth true. So don't even worry about that.
You cannot make untruth true. So truth is true.
If you are willing to accept what is true in everything you perceive, you let it be true for you.
Wow.
Because it's your personal experience with truth. If you don't do that, you're going to miscreate with fear. Okay? Section 3 is the perception versus knowledge. See, we were talking about perception earlier. So we've got the idea of making and creating.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have the concept of perception and vision.
Right. So if you're going to line them out like this, let's go over what they are. So making is what?
Creating.
Not creating.
Making would be a meal.
doing something in the world in form.
Yeah.
Okay. So making is what we do in this world in form.
Making implies that it's something, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
There we go. That's form.
It was born.
Yeah. Born, lives, and dies.
Born, lives, and dies.
That's what the word making means according to A Course in Miracles. Okay. So now creating.
You were created. We were created. I'm created as one. Will always be one. That's the truth. So creation is, so creating is truth. Making is illusion.
Right. Okay. Got it. So making is all about illusion. Creating is all about the truth, which is love. Okay.
And vision is about truth.
Yes. Vision is about seeing with your heart.
Is about seeing with creative, seeing the creative, seeing the truth in everything.
Okay.
And perception
is our opinion.
Yeah. So that's just to redo that. Yeah. So we know that all difficulties stem from the fact that you did not recognize yourself, your brother, or God. Okay. Vision, knowledge. To recognize means to know again, implying that you knew before. You can see in many ways. Because perception involves interpretation, like your opinion, right? Yes. What you like and what you don't like. And this means that it's not whole or consistent. Right. It doesn't say it's the problem. It just says it's not whole or and it's not consistent. Yeah. The miracle, being a way of perceiving, is not knowledge. It's the right answer to a question, but you do not question when you know. Right? A miracle is a correction. Yeah. It's like a miracle happens because you were wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Questioning illusions is the first step is to undoing them. Okay? The miracle, or the right answer, corrects them. Since perceptions change, their dependence on time is obvious. However, how you perceive at any given time determines what you do, and actions must occur in time. So time isn't the problem either. Knowledge is timeless because certainty is not questionable. You know when you have ceased to ask questions. Right? You don't ask what 2 + 2 equals anymore because you know.
Very good.
So seeking out knowledge. If you want to know what something is really for, because she says earlier, goes, what's it for? If you don't know what's it for, it means you don't have the knowledge about what it is. You can ask that about yourself, and you can ask, so what is it? And be open to instruction. Section 4 is error and the ego. This is where we go. So where we go when we're trying to do knowledge. We're going to do one thing, one or the other. We're going to ask our egos what the answer is, or we're going to ask the Holy Spirit what our answer is. We're going to use our right-minded self to do it, or we're going to use our wrong-minded self. We're going to seek a miracle for a correction, or we're going to wallow in the fear. The abilities you now possess are only shadows of your real strength. Again, this knowledge of our strength. Wow. Your ability, I love this one. The abilities you now possess are only shadows of your real strength. All of your present functions are divided up and open to question and doubt. And this is because you're not certain how you'll use them, and therefore are incapable of knowledge. You are also incapable of knowledge because you can still perceive lovelessly, meaning in fear. Right? Perceptions do not exist until the separation introduced degrees and aspects and intervals. They've chopped up reality. Right. Those are all math terms. Right. Spirit has no levels, and all conflict arises from the concept of levels. Right. You think you're better than somebody else. You think something is better than, but it's just your preferences. It's just perception. It's not true. You get to have those perceptions, but know that it's not true. The levels created by the separation cannot but conflict. This is because they are meaningless to each other. Levels are meaningless. All illusions are illusions, and they just bounce off of each other. So section 5 is called Beyond Perception. Yay, we're finally beyond perception, y'all! Beyond perception. Prayer is a way of asking for something. It is a medium of miracles, but the only meaningful prayer is for forgiveness, because those who have been forgiven have everything. Wow. So that's beyond prayer. Knowing you have everything, you don't need to perceive or need to understand what these levels are. As long as perception lasts, prayer has a place. Since perception rests on lack, right, your preferences and levels and chopping things up, those who perceive have not totally accepted the atonement and given themselves over to truth. Perception is based on a separated state, so that anyone who perceives at all needs healing, needs correction. Communication, not prayer, is the natural state of those who know.
Oh, the word is communion.
Communion.
So communion, not prayer, is the natural state of those who know. Communion with God, being in one with each other. Communion, not prayer, is the natural state of those who know.
God and his miracle are inseparable in the correction. Right? God, to seek God means you're seeking the correction.
Yeah.
How beautiful indeed are the thoughts of God who live in his light. That's you. You're the thought of God. Your worth is beyond perception because it is beyond doubt. Do not perceive yourself in different lights. You're right?
Do not perceive yourself in different lights.
Right.
Know yourself in the one light where the miracle that is you is perfectly clear. Oh, that's beautiful. The miracle that is you is perfectly clear.
And you can see others that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment and the authority problem. You have no idea of the tremendous release and deep peace that come from meeting yourself and your other brothers totally without judgment. The issue of authority is really a question of authorship. When you have authority problem, it is always because you believe you are the author of yourself and projected your delusion onto others. I know what you are. Bill Cosby used to say, his mother, I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. That's a misperception of authorship. So the last section, section 7, is called creating versus self-image. See,
beautiful. Now we're back to
creating.
This
is called innocence. This chapter is called the innocent perception.
Very good.
So innocence is the result of an understanding of all these things. Okay? The mind can make the belief in separation very real and very fearful, and this belief is the devil. Don't you love that? So you didn't think the Course in Miracles was going to leave the devil out of this discussion, did you? The mind can make the belief in separation very real and very fearful. And this belief is the devil. It is powerful, active, destructive, and clearly in opposition to God because it literally denies God's fatherhood.
Wow.
Look at your life and see what the devil has made. Your miscreations, right? But realize that this making versus creating, not making. Realize that this making will surely dissolve in the light of truth because its foundation is a lie. It comes and goes. You're looking for truth, right? Your creation by God is the only foundation that cannot be shaken.
Yay!
Because the light is in it. Your starting point is truth. And you must return to your beginning.
Amazing.
Your creation.
Brava.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Brava.
Love the Course in Miracles.
Woo!
So, we are talking today about making sure that we're making good choices. That you're examining your mind and being honest about what your treasure is. Asking what is it for? What am I to do? And that if you're open to instruction, you begin to have a prayer life and understanding that you ask God and Holy Spirit for the direction, because if you're fearful, you've chosen wrongly.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
And so you can choose
awesome.
right. You can choose rightly.
Right. And so this leads to the song that I was going to sing, because it's about our thoughts and how our thoughts outpicture into the world. So
outpicture.
I know, outpicturing into the world. So here's a little song about that. Ooh, my soul is singing. My soul is singing for freedom. In charge of your life? Do you make it your own? Do you follow your heart? Yeah, this moment is your home. Do you see love all around you? Let compassion fill your soul, and feeling all of your sensations We are free and we are whole. And so our thoughts create our freedom. Freedom. Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Freedom. Rock with me, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or do you love to suffer?
Hey, it's a path.
Are you comfortable with pain? Well, try living in the flow, yeah, in the state of well-being. And don't you worry about tomorrow.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
You just stay in the now.
'Cause you're a miracle worker.
And all is good if you can see it. It all works out somehow.
Miracle.
Freedom. Whoa. Rock with me, baby, for freedom. Freedom. Whoa. You know our thoughts create our freedom. Freedom. Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Freedom. Rock with me, baby. Yeah, yeah. Freedom. Freedom. Yeah, 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 yeah. Freedom. Freedom. Yeah, 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 yeah. Freedom. Whoa. Rock with me, baby, for freedom. Freedom. Whoa. You know my thoughts. You know my thoughts. You know my thoughts. You know the thoughts. You know the thoughts. Create my freedom.
We need that applause. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie.
I love that song.
It is. Our thoughts create our freedom.
Our thoughts create our freedom.
Right. You're powerful. We are powerful, powerful creators.
We are.
We were created by God
Yes.
as creatives.
Yes, we were. We were created by God as creatives. Yes, we were. It's the creative energy in the world.
Right. Not to make things.
Right. Not to make things that fall away
but
and
to
don't
create.
last.
So what are you creating?
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing in this world, if we're being honest, is that we are creating relationships.
Yes,
we are expanding ourselves into the universe as creatives, as the creative forces of good and goodwill for each other, of peace and joy and beauty and love and light and those things.
Yeah.
We can create into the world. We can, by being the loving creators that we are. There's something in your heart to do. There's something in your place. There's something that there's a place for you in this world. There is a time for you to act. Being and having an active prayer life is really helpful. So I'm going to give you the prayer again. Very famous prayer from A Course in Miracles. I'm going to give you this prayer again so that maybe you can take it with you. I am here only to be helpful. I'm here to represent He who sent me. I don't have to worry about what to think or say or do, because He who sent me will direct me. I'm content to be wherever God wishes, knowing that God goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. I'm Reverend Glen Ganaway, Integral Mentor. This is my lovely spouse, the Reverend Yolanda, and you're here with the Mighty Companions, an interfaith perspective on A Course in Miracles.
God is. God is. God is. God is. Well, Well, God is
my constant companion.
God is. Well, God is.
God is
my constant companion.
God is. Take care, y'all. We've really appreciated you being with us.